Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And we're back with another totally blind head-to-head where we react to the pours and the prices before we find out what we're drinking.
If it's an available product, is it worth the money?
If it's hard to find, is it worth the hype and the hunt?
Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to the channel that brings a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
We are not professional whiskey tasters, but what we will do is randomly select one of these pairs to taste totally blind so that you get our completely unbiased opinions. You'll see what we think about the pours before we find out what they are, and then ultimately you'll see us give them what we call a real-world score based on the blind tasting, the price and the availability, and whether we would buy them again or not.
If you like these blind head-to-head videos, go ahead and like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. Do it.
Yeah, hit the bell while you're down there. It'll let you know when we're doing live streams coming up. We do those once a month. They're a ton of fun. And while you're down there around all those buttons, go ahead and click the arrow to check the video description for a link to our Patreon community. We have a lot of fun over there. That's kind of the interactive element of the channel. And we have 4 very specific tiers. You can become part of the community. You can get Whiskey Nerd info, including access to the spreadsheet that has all these scores on it.
From all of our blind samples.
Exactly. We have a bonus content tier that you can get 2 additional videos that we do every week. We call them uncut videos because they're uncut and the bloopers are built in. And we also have a Whiskey with Friends tier where we do a private Patreon live stream once a month, and we do quarterly blind flight nights with the community where we send out blind flights to the participants. We all hop on a live stream and we walk through the blind flight together.
And if you're wanting any Stuff and Whiskey merch, you can check out the description below as well because it's there.
We got it now.
We got it.
We got merch
Finally.
now. People have been asking.
Sorry, it took so long.
It's not our super big forte. We're not here to be salespeople. But we did want to create some products that we really like. So this is actually what I wear a lot. I like wearing dad hats and I like wearing sweatshirts, and we're kind of getting near the end of sweatshirt season, but there's also some t-shirts and some other stuff over there. So check that out in the video description below. All right, let's run our randomizer and see which one of these 18 pairs we're tasting today.
17, whoa. So that's...
Okay, 18's right here, so that's easy. No counting required. We'll get these poured and we will be right back with our first impressions on glass 1. All right, let's get into our first impressions on glass 1.
Ooh, mama likey. It smells earthy and good. Do you get that?
I see your earthiness, but I'm getting a lot of traditional bourbon notes here with a real fruitiness.
I just get like, this is a whiskey I would go get at Whole Foods. It smells like
a Whole Food whiskey.
It smells earthy, like Whole Foods smells earthy.
Yeah, I would say to me on the nose, it's just coming across like a very solid classic bourbon, but it has a really fruit forwardness to it. And I don't know why cherry just seems to keep following me around in nosing notes. Like sometimes I just get stuck on a note and I just keep finding it over and over again in different glasses. And that's what I'm finding in this glass. Let's get it. You ready to get into taste?
Well, this smells like I walked into a log cabin and then I went to Whole Foods. And then I came home and then you were like, oh, you smell like you went to a log cabin in Whole Foods.
Okay, we're having 2 different experiences with glass 1. Let's see what it's like on the palate.
Okay. I get earthiness, like dirt, but in a really good way.
Oh, that's good on the palate. That's really good on the palate.
You think it's because I just ate some pretzels?
It could be. I didn't eat pretzels. I see your earthiness though. It's got so much cinnamon spice swelling up right on the middle of the palate, and there is like a funk to it, like an oaky funk that I think that's what you're picking up as earthiness.
Okay.
And it is, boy, this is nice on the palate, but
this is good.
I want to take a second sip because oftentimes when something comes in with so much spice, like a really nice spice mid palate, I feel like it tames down on the second sip.
I feel like for me, it did tame down a little bit, but it's still really good. Like I'm getting the flavor kind of builds as it goes to the back of my tongue.
Yeah.
Which I like.
That spice tamed down and it almost the experience got better on the second sip because it's more balanced now. And man, that is really good.
What are you?
What I thought was cherry is almost coming across like a little bit of like an orange creamsicle note right now. there's almost like a citrusy vibe to it, but like a heavy citrus. Like it's not that bright citrusy pop. There's like a heavy citrus undertone. It's
like
not
a blood orange, like a very.
yeah.
I'm just making this up.
Sure.
I don't know.
Who knows? I don't eat blood oranges, but sure. If they taste darker than a regular orange, you said emo grape one time. This is like an emo orange.
Okay, I can get that.
Yeah, it's feeling some feelings. It's going through some things. It's trying to process.
It's normally a bright and cheery person, but it's having a moment.
But it's coming across on my palate with some oomph.
We all have some
gravitas.
moments. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Very interesting on glass 1.
I like it.
Let's get into glass 2.
Okay. Different.
Whoa, boy.
This smells like nail polish remover compared to glass 1, which is weird because I was expecting them to smell similar for whatever reason.
Yeah, they don't smell similar whatsoever. Okay, I know what you mean when you say nail polish remover. There's a little bit of like a synthetic note
A little bit,
in this.
Mm-hmm.
It is almost like somebody melted down a whole bunch of banana runts and then also dumped some nail polish remover in there.
Okay, let me think about that.
So oftentimes you say you can't get banana. This is a good glass for you to try.
Like
to try to get some banana.
Green banana, right? Is that what I need to think of?
Yeah.
Okay. But see,
or like I said, banana runts. Like that kind of powdery, sugary. Yeah, this smells like the color yellow looks. Like a kind of a pale, sunshiny yellow.
Like a partly cloudy day.
All right, let's get into the palate on glass 2.
Let's do it. It tastes pretty bright and kind of light. I'm a little surprised.
Hold on now. There's some oak coming in on the back end. You're right about the light and bright. Wow, this is a tale of two pours. I mean,
yeah, they're different. They're not similar at all.
This one kind of is a slow starter. It comes in really soft and tame, and then it kind of ramps up. I'm trying not to show my bias here in first impressions, but
I am.
On first sip, glass 1 is really coming across with like a lot of stuff going on, and I really like it. Glass 2, in comparison, is coming across a little mellow.
I just got some sweet tea in glass 2.
Yeah, I can see you there.
It's funny how emotions can play into whether you like a glass or not, because now that I made the sweet tea, reference connection, I'm thinking about sitting at my friend Karen's house, like her mom pouring me all the sweet tea, and like thinking about growing up and how I haven't talked to my friend in a hot minute, and now I need to go call her because I miss her. Like, there's some emotions going on, which is wild.
Yeah, and that definitely plays a part. And I will say, going back to glass 1, after trying glass 2, the nose has changed. So it's going to be imperative that we take some time, clear our palates, spend some time with each pour, start with glass 2, go back to glass 1.
Yep.
We're going to do that now. We'll be right back with our full thoughts on both of these pours right after this. All right, after spending some time with both of these pours, what do you think? Let's start with glass 1.
So for me, glass 1, no surprise, gets 2 thumbs up on the nose, because mama like. It gets a thumbs up on flavor and thumbs up on experience.
She's out of control. For me, glass 1 gets a thumbs up on the nose, 2 thumbs up on the flavor, thumbs up on experience.
Okay.
Talk me through your scoring here.
It was just good. Like it smelled like I wanted it to smell. It tasted like I wanted it to taste, and I just enjoyed it. Like I would call this a very solid, strong pour for me.
For me, I put classic bourbon on the nose and then I put cherry pie with the crust. And now that I'm going back to it, I'm getting a little bit of leather too. So I'm really liking glass 1 on the nose. There's a little bit of sharpness there that I mentioned on the first impressions. That's the only thing that's holding it back from being 2 thumbs up on the nose.
I'm not getting the sharpness.
I don't know what it is. It's just like it is what it is.
Yeah.
On the flavors, like I said, 2 thumbs up. All that stuff carried over. Caramel was the first thing to hit. The cherry hit second, and then the cinnamon followed that up. And then the sweet oak came in on the finish. And then on the experience, I wrote that it was a wave of flavor.
Yeah.
And I want to surf that wave, even though I can't surf. And I said it had a lingering swell of that cinnamon and oak.
Yeah.
That stuff kind of came in on the back end of the palate, and it just stuck around, and I really, really enjoyed it.
And I feel like none of it's super... It's all there, but it's not like punching you. It's very
balanced. Well done.
Yeah.
It's a well-crafted whiskey. Let's move on to glass 2.
Okay.
Where are you at?
So for me, I had to remove the emotion that I got from the sweet tea, because there was some emotion involved there, and just score this glass for what it was. So that being said, I gave it just okay on the nose because it was very high ethanol. But I did give it a thumbs up on flavor and thumbs up on experience.
Okay. Can I ask you, would you put 2 thumbs up across the board based on the nostalgia?
Not 2 thumbs up. I probably would have scored the nose higher based on the nostalgia.
Okay.
But there was like that ethanol smell that I wasn't getting in glass 1, and so I didn't like it in glass 2.
Yeah, it's weird. Glass 1 I said was a little sharp on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Glass 2 had a little bit of a synthetic note that I mentioned on the nose. So when you say that synthetic note is what I'm getting in glass 2. So for me, glass 2 gets a just okay on the nose, just okay on the flavors. It does get a thumbs up on the experience. It wasn't exactly my jam. I had a very vast preference towards glass 1. It's a pretty easy head-to-head for me to score, but it's not bad. It's just not my cup of tea. My notes on glass 2 were the nose had banana, vanilla, sour oak. That sour oak note is what killed glass 2 for me. And then on the flavors, banana, cherry, and sour oak. And then the finish, I said it had a good amount of flavor, but it was dry on the oaky finish. Like, it had an oaky finish, but it was a dry oaky finish.
I can get that.
And there's like a sour banana. Like, I like sour apple. I don't like sour banana. Like, it's just, I don't know. There's something off-putting in glass 2 for me.
Wow, off-putting. I would say off-putting.
Full disclosure, I put preliminary marks next to our consumer ratings, like whether we would buy it again or not rating. And glass 1 is an easy rebuy. Glass 2, I would not buy again. I'm just gonna put that out there right now without knowing what it is. No, that sourness in there, I just don't like it.
Interesting.
It's not for me.
You scored it, I guess not as high.
Yeah, I mean it's one of my lower scoring glasses.
Interesting.
I can't wait to find out what these are. I can't imagine why they're paired up against each other, but let's find out. All right, let's find out how much these cost first, and then find out what we've been sipping.
Okay.
I had a vast preference towards glass 1.
Glass 1 was my favorite as well.
So let's find out how much glass 2 costs.
Okay.
Glass 2 is number 75.
Okay.
And glass 1 is number 76 in our key.
75.
Yep, so 75. Glass number 2
is $60.
All right. Glass number 1, 76.
$50.
Oh, easy glass 1 buy for me.
I'm not mad at that.
All right.
I would, yeah.
Hit the button.
Can
what
I
are
find
they?
what they are?
Yep.
Yes! Glass 2 is rare breed.
Glass 2 is rare breed?
I mean, glass 1 is rare
Okay.
breed.
I was about to say, no way.
Glass
rare
1
breed
is
tastes
rare
like that.
breed.
Is glass 2 1920 from Old Forester?
It is. Which neither of us really like. Is that what you guessed? Okay, so Josh doesn't try to think of what, because we have a very large blind sample pool.
Yeah.
Josh tries not to think of what's in it.
Yeah.
But every so often he'll say, I think I might know what these are. And he'll write it down and I check it afterwards and he's always wrong.
Always.
I think there's been one time.
Will It For Your Eye stood out to me.
One time you've been right.
1920.
Now.
Particularly the new label. There's a funky syntheticness on it that I just don't like.
But let's just say now there have been 2 times that he's been right because he thought this was rare breed.
I honestly wasn't sure because this doesn't seem like rare breed to me. Rare breed tends to come across with much more cinnamon and much more spice than this did. So it could be my palate today.
Rare breed did come across more earthy for me than it normally does.
Yeah.
However, I still freaking loved it.
That was the thing. Typically, I get more sweetness on rare breed and more cinnamon spice, and I didn't get either one of those. So I was not at all confident in my guess. But that, I didn't know what glass 1 was, but I was almost sure glass 2 was 1920.
We like 1910 though, right?
We love 1910. Everybody talks about 1920 being the best Old Forester product out there on the market. It's not. For us, we much prefer 1910 in non-blind tastings and in private blind tastings that we've done around here. She just took the one that I like the most. What in the world?
Nobody saw that.
We're about to have some marital problems here. You can't be taking a man's rare breed. You lost your mind.
Try to take my rare breed.
No, I know better than that. I know better than that. But now I'm stuck with 1910.
No, 1920.
Yeah, 1920, sorry. To us, Old Forester 1910. This isn't a 1910 video, but if you're going to buy one, we would recommend 1910. It's deeper, it's darker, it's sweeter. there's something in this glass that's not good for me. And this is the second bottle in a row, and I'm not feeling 1920.
You know what I'm proud of? I smelled this. I did not know it was rare breed, nor do I ever think about what they are because I don't know enough about whiskey to try to think about what they are. But I smelled it and I loved it. The end.
Let's go ahead and get into our retail and consumer scores. These are our real world metrics. We're a consumer focused channel. So our retail score is the price and the availability, and the consumer score is whether we would buy it again or not. Both of these are readily available. Rare breed's $50. 1920 is $60.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and cover this because this is important to cover.
Okay, let's do it.
Rare breed, glass 1. Where are you at on retail score, price, and availability?
2 thumbs up on retail score.
Okay.
$60 is my sweet spot. $50-$60.
Okay. And would you buy it again or not? Consumer score.
I would, and we do, and I make you buy it again because it's the one that I want. So 2 thumbs up.
It's the one that I want.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Okay.
honey, the one I want. You are the one I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
For me, Rare Breed's gonna get 2 thumbs up on retail score. And would I buy it again or not? Thumbs up. Absolutely. I'm not bunkering Rare Breed. We're not stocking up on it, but when the bottle runs out, we go get another one. Absolutely.
Well, the only reason we're not stocking up on it is because it's available.
Yeah, if it were allocated, it would honestly get points. It would score higher on consumer score if it were allocated.
Because we'd have to stock up.
Right.
Yeah.
With that said, let's move on to glass 2, Old Forester 1920, $60, readily available.
Okay. So
honestly, more available than Rare Breed.
Honestly, I'm giving it 2 thumbs up on retail score because the price and the availability is awesome. However, it's not my personal preference. I will not be buying it again, so I am giving it a thumbs down on retail score.
You know what?
I mean, on consumer score.
Consumer score, whether you buy it again or not.
Because I'm not buying it, but the price and availability is great. And if you like it, get all of it you can because it's a good price and a good availability.
For us and our palates, I feel like that's probably the right score. Honestly, I started with my retail score at just okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it. Like, I don't like
but
1920.
The price is it's at $50 is a solid price.
$60.
Okay,
which is
$60.
pushing it for me, especially for something I don't like. But you're getting 115 proof, well-crafted Old Forester product. Mm-hmm. And there are people who absolutely love, we have friends who absolutely love this product.
Yeah.
So to be able to get an available 115 proof, well-crafted whiskey from one of the major distillers, I feel like, and it's readily available, I feel like that's deserving of 2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
so I'll give it that. But would I buy it again or not? Thumbs down. If we didn't have this channel, we wouldn't have bought the bottle that we have right now. I begrudgingly bought that bottle for this channel because I wanted to put it in some head-to-heads because people love it so much. And I just don't like it. I don't like it like I don't like Will It For Your Rye. And I'm sorry.
Oh, them's fighting words.
I'm sorry. It's just, it is what it is.
And you know what? You're allowed to say that.
Yeah. All right. With that covered, let's get into our real world scores.
We get our real world scores by adding up the thumbs you see on the screen.
There are 10 possible points available, but this ain't Jimmy Russell or Jackie Zykin's 10-point scoring system.
Nope, it's more like a bell curve.
We found that most products, when you taste them totally blind, they fall in the middle of that bell curve because that's how bell curves work. It's science, basically. I mean, when we're tasting totally blind, we don't really know whether it's supposed to be any good or not, right?
Right.
And if something gets thumbs up across the board, that's 5 points. So you really have to stand out to us to score much more than 5 or 6 points. With that said, let's get into our real world scores, starting with Rare Breed. Funny, I should just mention something standing out. Where are you at on glass 1?
Well, glass 1 gets an 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Which the consumer score, like the retail and consumer score does help it. But that's what we're at. Like, I would buy it again. I would spend my money that I work hard for to buy this product.
Yeah.
So it gets an 8 out of 10 for me.
That's what we're about here. We're literally about, you only have so much money.
Yeah.
Nobody has a bottomless pocketbook. Even if you have a really big pocketbook,
it's not bottomless.
It's never bottomless.
Yeah.
So for me, Rare Breed gets a 7 out of 10.
Ooh, nice.
Very high scoring pour for both of us, which I think is accurately reflected by how we feel about Rare Breed, even if we're tasting it non-blind. It's one of our absolute favorite pours.
It's so strange though, because I feel like people who've been watching us think that maybe like we're sponsored by Rare Breed or Wild Turkey or anything like that, but
I wish.
But I know I wish we were.
Send cases.
Good grief.
Jimmy, Eddie, send cases.
But like it just consistently comes up in our blinds and we consistently like it. Sometimes we like it a little more than others, but we always like it.
Yeah. Speaking of things we like, and in stark juxtaposition of that, let's get into Glass 2 Old Forester 1920.
Okay.
Where are you at on real world score?
So I give it a 4.5 out of 10, which considering a bell curve is in that middle point range. So it's fine. Like it's good. It's not bad. And it's just not for me.
Right. I think that is it.
Yeah.
What you just said is it. Old Forester 1920 is not for us. For me,
Yeah.
I give it a 4 out of 10. Again, I think that's a worthy score. It definitely, to me, does fall in the middle point of that bell curve, but it's just not going to score much higher than that because I just don't really like the flavor.
Yeah.
You might be watching this. You might vastly prefer the flavor of 1920 over Rare Breed, and these scores could totally flip-flop for you. You could rate this an 8 and this a 4. It's kind of the beauty of the scoring rubric that we built is that it's applicable to wherever you are in your whiskey journey and your personal preferences.
Because tastes are subjective. So
Right.
the scoring system is based on where you are.
Right.
Yeah.
So we hope when you're watching this, you're listening to why we like or don't like what we like rather than focusing in on just what the score is, because the why is what's really the most important. With that said, let's get into who are these for.
So I think Rare Breed is for everyone. Let me just say that because I will shout that from the mountaintops.
I think with these two pours, let's say you've been dabbling around in like the 90 to 100 proof range and you're willing to step up a little bit more than that, and you want to try something higher proof, I think you probably owe it to yourself to buy both of these bottles, because what you're gonna get from that $110 spent is you're going to get self-knowledge. You're going to either love both of them or you're going to vastly prefer one and dislike the other, or vice versa. And then that's going to be able to guide you on the rest of your whiskey journey. So if you're a newbie and you're only used to sipping 90 proof pours and you want something smooth, don't buy these yet. Give yourself some time to acclimate, or if you do buy them, put them on ice, put some water in them to bring the proof point down so they're not so harsh. But if you're usually drinking bottled and bond products, 100 proof, maybe a little bit over that, and you want to step up into the 1-teens, it's hard pressed to say that there are two better bottles to go on that journey with than these two bottles right here. They're approachable enough for somebody who's been drinking stuff that's 10 or 15 proof points less, and you're going to learn something valuable from both of these bottles. They're both great distilleries. We do really enjoy, we love all Wild Turkey products for the most part, and we do have some Old Forester products that we absolutely adore. 1920 isn't one of those for us, unfortunately, but thankfully there's 1910 for $10 cheaper, $5 or $10 cheaper.
Ooh,
so
sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right, that's it for this week, guys. Till next week.
Cheers.
Add them up.
I freaking love Rare Breed. So this is the bourbon, right? Not the rye.
Yep.
Which apparently I like the rye a lot of as well. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8. Holy moly.
It's an accurate score for you for every.
Aren't you proud of me that I knew that we didn't like 1920?
I do not like 1920.
But like
What's wrong with it?
I don't know.
I see why people like it. It's just not for me.
The nostalgia though did get me a smidgy bit.
Yeah.
When I smell that sweet tea. Rare Breed is so good.
Rare Breed is so good.
Why? I know, I just like the bloopers. They're my favorite part. That's why I watch our videos.
They're all through it now.
I know.
Just watch.
I can't watch 20 to 30 minutes of us talking.
That's fair.
I've already done
I don't know why anybody does.
Like I've lived this. So why am I going to watch it again?
I don't. Who knows? Who knows why people watch this stuff?
I don't even know.
Yeah. I watch this stuff. I watch all the other channels. I love it.
Why do they watch us? Because we don't know what the heck we're doing.
I don't know. Who knows?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. It's all you. Let's go.